there's not a lot of bad news in Vermont, or at least when I was there was not a lot of bad news in Vermont. So very rarely it was something breaking. So you kind of have to come up with these ideas on your own.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, all right, let's be live every day and let's find something cool to tell people about every single day. And some days were cooler than others. But like what did we do? I told people how to de-skunk a dog at like some dog groomers one day. We were, of course, live at the fair. And,
But that is helpful information that people need to know.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes. But like new restaurants, opening aerial yoga, just everything under the sun, live at 5 a.m. on top of Killington Mountain. That was an amazing sunrise. Oh my goodness. But we did a lot, and it was mostly entertainment type of news. Yeah. Sometimes it was news you can use, but a lot of the times
is that a hashtag
fun.
News you can use? We should turn that into a slogan.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Yes. Starting it hashtag. But it was great, and I planned a live show. So I convinced people to get up at, 4 a.m. to be live on TV with me at 5 a.m. telling me information. And I would interview them, and we would have fun, or we would go ziplining. We did that once. That was great. Wow. Oh my gosh. But it was really wonderful, and I fell in love with that kind of storytelling that I had admired by watching these, daytime TV shows when I was growing up, essentially, and I was just doing it live for the morning news. It was wonderful. I worked with really great photographers, but this one guy named Steve, who was like my TV dad, he was down for anything. One time he takes the TV's camera, and the fireball at the fair, the thing that goes round and round and round, we went on that on live TV. He has this thing on his back so we can do like a broadcast, and he's holding the camera. We are upside down on live TV, and all of a sudden this battery falls out of his pocket. I was like, we're dead. We're done.
That's it.
Like, we're going down, like the ride's gonna break, that battery's gonna jam, and we were fine, obviously. Wow. But it was great. Like, just really good memories up in Vermont. I loved it.
That sounds really amazing. And also, I mean, little did you know, you were sort of laying down the bricks a little bit. Yes. I mean, we'll get into it, but foreshadowing. If I've ever seen it.
Lots of foreshadowing. The downfall about working and living in Vermont is that it is expensive. And I don't think a lot of people know this.
More so than Boston?
Not more so than Boston.
Okay.
But it is expensive for the amount of money you make.
Okay, that makes sense.
Living in Vermont. And I'm fine talking about money, and I think people should know that because it really puts it into perspective. But when I was working in Vermont, I can't remember the exact amount that I made, but it was in the 30,000s. That's how, people that go into the news industry, it is a shock to the system. Your first job out of college is usually so low in terms of your salary.
Wow.
It was unlivable, and I went into debt like $20,000 plus. But in my brain, I'm like, one day I'll get an amazing job in New York City or LA or Boston, and I'll pay off all of this crazy debt that I have. That was, my goal in my brain. I'm probably really irresponsible at the time, but it's fine.
You live and you learn. You live and you learn.
Exactly.
That's a positive outlook to have.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think, obviously, at the end of the day, our income is important. We got bills to pay, but I think there is something to be said about willing to take pay cuts because the memories are things that money can't buy. And it seems like that was a time in your life where what your experience was more important than what you were pocketing.
Yes.
What you were making.
Absolutely. And so working there, I loved it. I loved being in the area, but I knew I needed to find a better paying job so I could pay off my debt and I could get to, a bigger market. And that's the goal, for newscasters when they first started, is to keep going forward. And so I was super lucky to come to Boston because it's so close to Vermont.
Yeah.
I could drive to the mountains anytime I wanted to, and so close to the ocean. I was right there.
Right? You get the best of both worlds in a sense.
And the city is so beautiful. The architecture here and the food is incredible. I'm obsessed.
I am dying. I've just never seen someone so excited about Boston, but it's really nice to see it.
Well,
it's really nice.
I think it stems from being from Ohio, where I grew up with like not a lot, and then coming here. It just
goes to show you.
Yes, there's so much to do and see and eat and explore.
Yeah,
so much. I love it here. Anyway.
So do you get up to Vermont often, though? I'm curious.
I do, yes.
Good.
So my very best friend, my roommate when I was living up in Vermont, she still lives up there. And so she actually might be coming to see me tomorrow. Side story. But I get up there every once in a while to see her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What was the biggest adjustment for you when you got down here?
Ooh, biggest adjustment, driving. Oh my gosh. There was, and also it's funny because I was a traffic reporter when I came here. And up in Vermont, there's no traffic at all. There was nothing
Sounds
up there.
Incredible.
Yes. So when I got here and, I really dove headfirst into traffic land, and then I got to experience traffic land on the roads. Oh, I became the claws come out sometimes on the roads here. Like I'm sure everyone can relate.
You don't think that you are an aggressive driver until you're stuck in bumper to bumper on 93.
And you're like,
it brings out the worst in all of us.
What are you doing?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
My coworker actually just shared an article with our team the other day. Boston just got ranked 4th in the world.
Yes.
Not the Massachusetts, not the United States.
Yes.
Not even just this state.
Right. The world
For worst traffic.
You would think LA, but no, LA's after us. I saw the same thing. And I was like,
crazy town.
It makes sense.
I'm curious, actually, if you could compare traffic now to when you were reporting on it. Because my thought is that people have been hesitant to go back to public transportation post-COVID. So maybe we have, even though a lot of people are working remotely, the people that have returned to work are more apt to drive in versus the train, the commuter rail. And I'm thinking maybe that is just what's causing so much traffic, because I just think it keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Or it's construction. I don't know what's going on, but it's bananas.
You know what I have to add in with that too is, personally, I think the commuter rail is unaffordable on a day-to-day basis.
Agreed.
For a lot of people. And I wonder, and I'm sure there are programs that you can find to get a cheaper pass or a more affordable pass. But still, even for like the normal working person, it is expensive. And you're like, I might as well drive.
Yeah.
Which is really what we're trying to avoid, right? Like we should make it more affordable. So it's better for the climate and the people driving on the road so we don't lose our minds.
I'll shimmy to that. I think back in the day, I used to work at MGH, and I think they even gave us in our benefits like some either pre-tax or whatever, but it was, I think, $300 a month for the commuter rail back then. So it's probably more now.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
A card payment.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's a bill. Yeah.
Do you take the commuter train or do you have a car? You're probably going to have a car because then you can go all over everywhere, to the grocery store, to vacation, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So also prices. So for many reasons, people are driving. People are driving. And Boston traffic stinks.
Yeah, and I learned that full force. I was like every day telling people how bad it is.
Yeah.
It's like, gosh.
Yeah, you're like, I'm the person they know I'm going to deliver bad news. When they see my face, they're like, oh no.
Yeah. It's rough out there.
It's rough.
Man.
But eventually you moved on from traffic, right?
Yes, it was a whirlwind. So 3 years traffic, and I was anchoring also the 4:30 a.m. show, which was early and fun and interesting, and honestly the highlight of my day because it was not traffic and it was just something different and fresh.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. And eventually worked my way to anchor the weekend mornings and report during the week. And then finally in 2020, I started anchoring the noon show and also still reporting the traffic. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, got it backward. Did I get it backward? Yes. Okay. Started doing the noon. Then I went to weekends, and then I went Monday through Friday in the morning anchoring.
Okay. Very cool.
And at that point, when I was anchoring in the morning, I was not doing traffic because it would be impossible to do both.
No, you can't.
But that was great. I loved that.
Yeah.
I loved that. It was different and dynamic and fun every day and not traffic.
Yeah.
And it was more geared at what I wanted to do with my career.
Back to some of that storytelling, but
Yeah.
also your climbing up the ranks, right?
Yeah.
That was the goal in the news industry.
Totally.
To keep being able
Moving
to sort of move
forward.
up and get that anchor spot.
Yeah.
What was your favorite memories from that period of your time?
Ooh, just everyone working with all of those wonderful people there.
Yeah.
Everyone is so smart and stores so much information in their brains. I have no idea how they do it. That was the thing I struggled with so much. There's just so much to know in terms of like politics and local politics and just weird Massachusetts things and just everything under the sun. And some people were able to like pull up information here, there, everywhere. I'm like, give me 10 seconds to search that. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I don't know how people remember so many things, but maybe my memory is
But
just
it's really
different.
cool to be in a room of people like that because I think it sort of incentivizes you and gives you that little bit of motivation to
be competitive and like want to learn all the things and talk to all of the people. And everyone's so passionate too and like really enjoyed being there or enjoys being there. So the people really made everything wonderful.
That's amazing.
Yeah.